Names! Oh yeah, you are throwing sticks and stones. I better call reinforcements.
Hello, people of the internet. You may have already seen my introduction video. If not, my name is Red, and today, for the first review I'm going to be using while I take over this channel, is the Schleich Majungasaurus. This figure was one of several figures that Schleich announced and then later released in the current year, which is 2022, I've been told. God, I feel old. But anyways, this specific figure was one that the previous owner of this channel was quite interested in getting for a little while. Namely, because they noticed, like a lot of people, that this specific figure heavily resembles a Majungasaurus from another series called Dinosaur King, which I have not seen, but the previous owner of this channel was apparently a fan of, so they were very quickly able to notice that this figure is basically just the Majungasaurus from Dinosaur King represented in toy form. Schleich has apparently done this before on numerous occasions. There was a Dimorphodon figure they released that was apparently very similar looking to another Dimorphodon depiction from somewhere else, but that's besides the point. Either way, this figure itself is decently large, not terribly so. This is only the second type of a Bellisaurid that Schleich has made, but it's decent looking, better looking than their last several Carnotauruses, though most of that has to do with the fact that the Dinosaur King design was decently accurate and not because Schleich, did anything revolutionary here. I can't even really compliment the color scheme for being interesting, because of the fact that Schleich ripped this color scheme straight off from the Dinosaur King one. And for those wondering, this color scheme is indeed based on a coral snake. It does look kind of like one. And indeed, that was the basis for the appearance of this figure. Detail-wise, the figure's actually not too bad. There is a decent amount of scalation on it, though not to an extreme extent, and there is also some bumps along the back, which are speculative, but possible. Its feet are a little bit large, not to the extent of clown feet, but they are kind of large. And one thing that I do know personally is that the arms are too long on this figure. They're too long. They are at least non-pronated, but they are too long and they're too developed, whereas the real Majungasaurus, like most of Bellisaurus, would have had really, really tiny arms that were way smaller than this. It does have a single point of articulation, which is the mouth can open, but that does expose another problem with this figure, which is a personal problem of mine, which is the teeth, which have this weird matte black covering them. It makes the thing look like it has black teeth. I think that's just supposed to be the lines separating the teeth, but the lines were painted on way too thick, if that was the case. And then this is a problem that's likely just with this specific figure. Perhaps not every copy of this figure has this, but there's a little pink splotch on the tongue there, on the side of the tongue there, which is inaccurate. Another thing I don't like is, can you hear that squeaking? Can you hear that squeaking? God, that's squeakier than my own voice. Yeah, that doesn't sound too nice. But overall, this figure's okay. It's nothing special. It's definitely not a masterpiece, and it is heavily plagiarized from another source. But as an overall figure, it's not bad if you can ignore the plagiarism. If you're interested in this, be warned this figure is a little pricey, about $20 for a figure that's not terribly large, but you can decide whether or not that's good enough for you to decide to get this thing.